Coach Smith, and I want to tell you about ping pong. And we play ping pong K through 5, so I'm going to show you some different modifications for each grade level. But I first want to tell you, we have our courts set up. We tape the floor. Unfortunately, I don't have access to tables, and maybe you do, which would be awesome. But we tape our floor. We do 4 by 4, 4 feet by 4 feet on each side. We do tape in the middle, and that represents the net. Now you can do a piece of board, a 2 by 4 as the net. I've done that in the past, but I have found over the years that it works great just with the tape. So we do have the kids sit either on their pockets like this or up on their knees where they can reach farther and have a little bit better play as far as reaching backhands and forehands. But you might allow yours to stand up. I have 80 kids, and so I've got 40 courts spread out. And so standing up, it just has gotten a little crazy. So we have them sit on their pockets or sit on their knees. We also start each grade level with a tennis ball, except for 5th grade. And 5th grade has played long enough that they start with a ping pong ball, and that's great. But otherwise, we start with a tennis ball, and I'll tell you the modifications that we make. So just a couple of rules that we talk about with our students before we get started. Number 1 is to not sit on the table. We make sure that they are back behind the table, that they have plenty of room to move. The orange lines or our outside lines are always in, and we have them play it if it hits the line. The net, if it hits the net, then that would be out. Now, you're gonna notice that throughout the grade levels, there's gonna be a lot of balls bouncing around, and that's okay. It's kind of organized chaos. What we tell students is, if a ball is coming to you from another court, you have the option to catch it, place it down, and that person will come and get it, or you completely ignore it, and you just keep playing your rally, or you're practicing your serve, whatever it is that you're doing. Now, if you go get the ball, say you hit it, you're the one that goes and gets it, and if you're the one that goes and gets it, you are not allowed to do the uppies all the way back. You just need to carry the ball back, get back to your court, and continue play. So for kindergarten and first, we just want them to get comfortable holding the racket and doing a forehand and a backhand. So we start with the tennis ball, like I said earlier, and we have them place it on the table. And that's another thing. We tell them, make sure that you're not sitting on the table. So some students will end up starting right here and they don't have a lot of room to play. So we tell them, back up, make sure that you're not on the table. And we have them put it on the ground. Their partner does not have a paddle. It is behind their back. So one partner has the racket, and they're just gonna practice a backhand and a forehand. So we have them put it on the ground, and they simply roll it on the ground. So they are not hitting the ball actually starting out. Their partner will roll it back to them, then they'll place it on the other side and hit it again. And we practice that for a few minutes, and coach will say switch. When coach says switch, I put my paddle behind my back, and now when I receive the ball, I am rolling it back to them. We'll do that for a few times to give them practice with that. And then once we do that, then we will say, okay, now your partner's going to roll the ball to you. So when they roll it, I will hit it back. They will catch it, roll it to me, and I will hit it again. Again, we will say switch, put it behind us, and now I will be the one rolling to my partner. We tell them a couple of things. Number 1, make sure that you're rolling it on the ground. If it's bouncing, it makes it difficult for the little kindergartners and first graders to hit it. We also talk about using that motion instead of just hitting it up. It helps them kind of get the contact and the striking down with the ping pong paddles. For our 2nd and 3rd, and really 4th as well, we always start teaching with a serve, because we tell them if you can't do the serve, then it is really not fun when we start rallying and playing our games if they can't even get the serve in. So one thing that we do use is the tennis ball to start with. And we also tell them, if you already play a lot of ping pong and you have a serve that you already know how to do, great, you can practice that. But if not, we want you to practice just a drop and hit. So they're gonna practice a backhand serve or a forehand serve. We tell them not to drop it right in the middle, because then they're gonna hit it straight up. That if they drop it in the middle to hit a backhand serve, so all they're going to do is practice is one partner has the paddle. The partner that's receiving the ball does not have a paddle. They have placed it behind them. So I'm gonna drop and hit, and just trying to land the ball in the other court. My partner would roll the ball back to me, and I would try the other way. And all I'm doing is trying to drop, make it bounce, and hit. Like I said, if they already know how to serve, they might be doing something like that serve, and that's great too. Then coach will say switch, I will then put my paddle down, I will roll the ball back to my partner and let them practice their serve. So after the tennis ball or with 5th grade, we just go ahead and start with the ping pong ball. And they're gonna continue to practice their serve with their partner not having a paddle yet. And so I'm gonna serve, they're gonna roll it back to me, I'm gonna practice again, just getting comfortable with our serve. When we see that our students have done a good job of that, then all grade levels, depending on where it was that they started, if they're ready to move on, then we will say, okay, now you're going to rally. And today, your partner is your teammate. And so you're going to start each rally with a serve, and you go back and forth as many times as you can hit it. We tell them that you must stop play if any of the things that I'm going to tell you happen. Number one, if it hits out of the table or outside of the bounds, you would need to stop play. If it bounces twice in my square and I don't hit it, I need to stop play. Or if it hits the net, I need to stop play. And every time we stop play, we go ahead and alternate the serve so that each of them are getting a chance to practice their serve. And so the first day is really just working on serves, rallying back and forth. After that first day, you may have to back up and do some reviews of those things with the different grade levels. And you might not get to this point, but with our 3rd, 4th, and 5th, we then move to keeping score. And so we do score for time. We don't do to 21 or to 11. We just do for time. And we do have the students alternate, like we did in our practice sessions with our rallying. They alternate each serve. The score is my score first. So say I have 2 serving 3. I serve, it goes out of bounds, we stop play, then it's my partner's turn to serve. Then when coach says time, the game is over, no matter what the score is. If the score is tied, we will do a rock, paper, scissors to see who the winner. But oftentimes we will either just have, all right, if you are facing the east wall, stand up and move to a different court. Or we may have, if we do a tournament style like we do with our older kids, we will have all the winners come and line up with us, and they will use specific courts as long as they keep winning, while everyone else finds a partner on another court. It is pretty fun when we get down to our last few players and they're competing against, we'll have a court in the middle circle, and those last two players will play the final round and see who the winner is. That's super fun to do as well. But hope this has given you some ideas to do striking with a short-handed implement using ping pong, because it is a skill that they would be able to use outside of school. All right, make it a great day.